If you're not sure whether you need sinking funds if you already have an emergency fund, I'm going to cover all of that right now. Let's say your car needs new tires. Do you use your emergency fund or a sinking fund? Most people would say their emergency fund, but technically that's not the correct answer. Let's break this down. An emergency fund is for what is truly unexpected, like out of the blue. You end up in the ER, your dog ends up in the vet ER at 2 a.m., or you lose your job out of nowhere. This is stuff that you really can't plan for because you couldn't have seen it coming. On the other hand, sinking funds are for expected but irregular expenses. These are things like car maintenance or holiday gifts or school expenses, or even like a wedding where you get an invitation, say 6 months or 9 months in advance. When you don't plan ahead for those types of things with your sinking funds, those expenses end up as emergencies coming out of your emergency fund or just being put on your credit card as debt. So the answer is you need both. Your emergency fund is basically your last line of defense, like something that came out of nowhere, or you've already depleted other sinking funds that you can't pull money out of to cover it. Ideally, if you've been budgeting for a while and you've built up your sinking funds, you shouldn't be touching your emergency fund unless it's like a real true emergency. Now, there's always an exception here, and that is if you are just getting started. If you don't have sinking funds already built up, let's say you don't have a car repair sinking fund and the car breaks down, well, you're going to use your emergency fund if you've got one because you're going to have to. You don't have money elsewhere. But ultimately, where you are headed long term is you want to have sinking funds and an emergency fund. All right, as always, if you've got questions, you can drop them in the comments below.